Hi and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Olivia and I'm a runner at Florida State on the cross country and track team. This video is a really exciting one that I have been looking forward to. I am going to make a series where I set some big goals. I go week by week and I show you guys everything that I'm doing to reach my goals. I'm basically going all in and I'm sharing the process. This series is going to be just about going all in and seeing what's possible. I'm gonna set some big goals. I'm going to set some process goals. I'm gonna lay out just everything that I'm doing to get there. I guess we can start with the goals for this season. I have a 1500 personal best of 433.3. I ran that last year. The goal is to get better. Setting an A, B, and C goal for myself. The C goal would be to break 4:30. I think that's obviously a personal best and also a really good time, and I think it's something that's super achievable. A B goal, a very strong season for me, would be hitting 4:27 to 4:28. An A goal, which would be super exciting for me, is going sub 4:25. I think that would get me into some really exciting territory, and yeah, I just don't want to set any goal like too small for myself. I think it's really cool to set big goals, not have them be the main focus, but having goals is a really exciting thing and something that I want to incorporate into this series. The next goals that I have are process goals. First and biggest one, especially if you guys have been following me, is staying injury free. I have gone, I think, just one track season without injury, and that was my indoor season last year. And my outdoor season and my freshman year season were just kind of riddled with injuries. The biggest thing is staying healthy for process goals, and I know it's going to help me with my outcome goals as well. Another process goal is obviously enjoying it. I love this sport and making sure that I'm checking in and enjoying the process and enjoying all of the training and little things that I'm going to lay out for you guys. Lastly is consistency. It is going to be easy to have one really good day where I'm doing all of the things, but it doesn't mean anything if I'm not doing it every single day consistently, because that's how you see results. Those are kind of like my 3 goals with times, and then my 3 goals with the process. I think also I have goals of just traveling to as many meets as possible, in my other events, running really well in those. I still don't really know what events I'm going to do specifically, so as the series goes on, I probably can adjust some of those time goals, but for right now, the 1500, I think that's my main focus. I have some goals. I'm really excited. For indoor, I'll be doing the mile, so kind of can convert those times, but let's get into everything that I'm doing in this series to get to those goals. First one is a mobility routine, and I started this 2 days ago. I have a routine that I'm doing morning and night. It's not a super long routine. It probably takes me about 10 minutes, and it's just about being consistent with that. Just doing mobility morning and night for me. Small habit, but I know that if I do it over the months of this series and every single week, I'll see progress. Post-run stretching. I am very inflexible, so stretching after every run, even if it's just for 5 minutes, is gonna help me with reducing injury and recovering better. Being really consistent with my activation routine. I've shared a good bit about my activation routine on here. I have about a 15-minute routine that I do before my run. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it, but I just need to be really consistent with it. And before every single run, whether it's an easy run or a workout, just make sure that I'm doing my activation. The next one gets into strength training. I want to do 3 times a week lifting. When I'm here at school, I have 2 structured lifts, but I'm about to go on break for about a month, so I really want to get into some specific lifting for runners. And at the end of the lifts, I'm going to incorporate some rehab exercises. Right now, I'm not dealing with any injuries or anything that's painful or niggles or anything, so just doing preventative exercises at the end of my lifts to make sure that I'm staying strong and healthy. In addition to the strength training, I would love to do core daily. I think that this is a realistic goal for me, just 5 minutes of core daily, whether it's after my run or it's done at some point throughout the day. I think that it's going to be helpful for me. Core is super important as a runner to be strong and to stay healthy. I also have been thinking about taking yoga once a week. I think that would be really helpful for me as someone who is inflexible, and it kind of just goes and adds into that extra strength work. Now getting into recovery, this is something that I'm pretty excited about. I am going to start tracking my sleep a little bit better. I have an Apple Watch, so I'm going to start wearing that tracking my sleep, seeing kind of what patterns I'm seeing, how much sleep I'm actually getting per night, what I'm averaging per week. I'll share that with you guys. I think it'll be really interesting to see, and just improving my sleep as much as possible, because I think that's just one of the most important things as an athlete. Next one is hot bathing. I do this here at FSU, but when I'm home, I obviously want to keep doing it. So hot bathing after all my workouts, all of my long runs, and then any extra days that I do it, maybe where I'm feeling sore, I think that's just another added bonus. So yeah, I'll share with you guys like when I'm hot bathing, how I'm feeling. What I'll do is I'll sit in the hot tub anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes, and I'm gonna do that at home, maybe do some Epsom salt baths, and just really incorporate that into my recovery and be consistent with it. Hydration is another one. I've been pretty good with this, but making sure that I'm hydrating properly, I'm drinking my electrolytes. I usually start my morning with electrolytes and water, but I may even start just tracking the hydration, seeing, okay, how much am I actually getting in, especially when it's getting colder out. I think that's when I really start lacking in hydration a bit. I think I might track that a bit, share that with you guys along with the sleep. I think it would be a really cool thing to just kind of see, and maybe I can even make tweaks as I go along throughout the weeks and see what helps me. Supplements, I am taking an iron supplement in the morning with orange juice because I think my iron is a little bit low right now. I haven't gotten it tested in a bit, but I'm taking iron consistently every single day. I'm also eating iron-rich foods, so I've been eating red meat, and I'm hoping that that helps with iron levels. I also take supplements at night, so I take a fish oil supplement, I take calcium, I take vitamin D. Both of those are super important for my bones. I take a multivitamin, and I think that's it. So just taking all those supplements, that's something I'm really consistent with already. The iron was something that I had fallen off with for a bit, but I think that is another super important part of dialing in and hitting those goals I have for this season. Another one is just tracking all of my runs and workouts, having a little journal, whether it's Strava or actually physically writing out how I felt on the workout, if I had any niggles, the pace, the effort level, looking at my heart rate, those sorts of things. And look from week to week, okay, how did I improve? How did I feel? I think it's really cool to track your progress in that way, and it can be really motivating. And you could also just look at the data and see how you're actually progressing or if you need to change something up. Another thing that I am pretty interested in doing is just cross-train doubling, maybe once to twice a week. So maybe after a workout, doing a double that day, having maybe a 30-minute elliptical double, or going for a little swim or bike ride, just to add a bit of another aerobic element to the day without adding more stress to my body necessarily. So I probably wouldn't do the Stairmaster or anything like that, but really would lean into cross-training on the elliptical or cross-training on the arc trainer or something with less impact. And yeah, I'm really just focusing on stringing together workouts. Lionel Sanders has a really cool quote that I don't remember exactly, but he basically says that you don't want to race from one good workout, but you want to race from 30 to 40 good workouts strung together in close proximity. And that brings me to my next point, which is kind of like the mental aspect. I really want to keep like watching content and people that inspire me. So Lionel Sanders, Nick Bare, Luke Hopkins, Adam and Mika Wood. I love their channels. They really inspire me. I'll watch them before I go for a run. And yeah, just like staying bought in, staying excited about my goals. And I think having this like little series is also going to be really cool. I'll get to share with you guys just like everything that I'm doing, from the strength training, the recovery, the actual training itself. I'm just super excited to share all of that, and I have a lot of little things lined up that I'm excited to dial in with. So yeah, those are all of the little like nitty gritty things that I'm doing to reach the goals that I've set for myself this season. I am super excited for this series. I'm just gonna make a video every single week taking you guys through all the recovery, all the training, all the feelings, how it's going. And today I have a workout, so I'm gonna hit the track in a bit. I'm super excited for this one, and yeah, I'll take you guys through that, and then yeah, the weeks to come. Okay, so I don't think I mentioned this, but nutrition is also something I am prioritizing. So I've got my electrolytes, a little bit of Gatorade Zero, got some green beans, sweet potatoes, some turkey, rice, and then I've got some avocado that I'm gonna put the sweet potatoes in. So this is the pre-run, pre-workout meal. Now I'm packing up my bag for the track. I'm gonna take my roller for some activation. I am gonna pack up my little yoga mat for activation, and then some rolling out after, and also my band for activation. Also got my Gatorade, my watch, my heart rate monitor, my AfterShokz, and then I'm gonna bring my computer and this camera to edit the video. I also wrote out the workout for today, so I'm gonna bring my little journal. We've got the warm-up, which is my activation routine, my 20-minute warm-up, my drills, warm-up quarter, and then the main workout today is a mile at aerobic threshold pace, which for me is gonna be 5:45 to 5:55. And then that has a 3-minute rest followed by 5 by 1000 at 5K pace with 3 minutes recovery. Goal pace on those 1Ks for me is 3:25 to 3:30. And then after, I'm gonna do a 15-minute cool down, stretch, core, and then do some rolling and Normatec. For shoes, I'm gonna run the workout in my Vaporflies, and then I am going to run the warm-up and the cool down in these Vomeros. All right, we are starting activation. The warm-up run, 7:47 pace, 20 minutes. Felt really good, but my heart rate was high, so I'm gonna do some drills now. Putting on my Vaporflies now. And I'm gonna do the warm-up quarter, which for me is always the most difficult part. So I'm gonna do that and then get into the workout. So I've got a mile at 5:48 to 5:52, hopefully. That's a sweet spot. And then a 2-minute rest, followed by 5 by 1000, 3:25 to 3:30 with 3-minute rest on those. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough workout, but I'm excited. Just kind of like taking it piece by piece, just focusing on the warm-up, then the warm-up quarter, and then each individual rep of the workout. But felt really good on my warm-up. I felt really like bouncy and like not too out of breath or anything, but my heart rate was pretty high. So I'm kind of interested how the workout's gonna go, but if I have to adjust paces, I'll do that. But yeah, I think it'll be good, and just trying to take it rep by rep. So we're gonna start with the warm-up quarter. Trying to get better at these warm-up quarters. I think if I could hit a 115 to a 120, that would be good. So 115 would be the goal. So I'll let y'all know what I hit. Hit 115 exactly, which I haven't done in a while. So that was awesome. Went through the 200 at 36, which is perfect, and closed in like a 38, 39. So now it's workout time. The first mile is like gonna be a lot slower than the warm-up quarter pace, so I think it's gonna feel pretty easy. And then the first 1,000 is probably gonna hurt a little, but not too bad. And for the 1,000s, I'm gonna stay on the lower or the higher end of the pace to start, and then get faster as we go. But already great start to the workout. Haven't hit a warm-up quarter that fast in months, so really good. That's something I'm working on. Back home, that workout was a lot harder than I expected it to be. The warm-up felt good, but my heart rate was pretty high, and so I think that was just a sign that maybe I'm under recovered. And then the warm-up quarter actually went super well. I hit 115, which I never do for warm-up quarters. I've been really slow on them recently, and I don't know, I just haven't really had my power. And I think in the past, like, power is something I've really been good at, but I've been doing a lot of like cross-country training, long distance training, and less focus on power, so I'm trying to get back into that. But yeah, workout was pretty good. The mile felt a little bit harder than I would have liked, and the 1Ks also felt pretty difficult, but it's all about just like getting the work in. And I think part of it too is like without teammates it is a bit harder. But now I'm done with the workout, so we are going to do the stretching that I talked about. I'm going to do 5 minutes of core, but before all that, I'm going to fix myself some electrolytes, and I think that's it for kind of like the workout bit. But yeah, I went through my activation, had a good workout. You know, it's all about getting in that work. I'm going to write down and record the workout, and then really prioritizing my sleep, my nutrition, and making sure that I'm like reflecting on things that I can improve. So tomorrow I have a long run, but that's kind of like my week 1. This is an exciting new series for me to start, and I'm really excited to take you guys through it. I'm really excited to see improvements. I'm hoping to look back on some of these like early workouts, early December workouts in January, and look back at them and hopefully be like, okay, I came from this point where I was running these times, these paces, and now I'm here, and this is what I did along the way. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. Right now I'm just gonna work on all the little things and just keep doing the things that I know will make me successful.
It's the smoothest preparation, given that I was healthy, in great shape.
Post-run. I just did 5 minutes of stretching and 5 minutes of core, and even though it's a small amount, I think that keeping it like that is going to help me be consistent to do it every single day, which is more important than having one awesome day where I do a ton of stretching and a ton of work. So I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, I wanted to kind of like end off this video and future videos with things that I've learned from the week. So from this week, I think there's a couple of key takeaways. The first one is nutrition. So I've seen that as my volume has increased and as my intensity has increased, my energy levels have gone down. And so I think what I'm going to do to help with that is increase carbs before and after workouts. So I think bread is probably what I'm leaning towards right now, like toast, or just even like buying something that has carbs in it, just like for before the workout and after the workout, especially on days like today where it's intense. I think that's going to help me a lot. Maybe even fruit snacks or like candy or something before the workout. And then after, to refuel, having just some extra carbs in there. Another thing that I learned from this week is really committing to the plan. So having a plan is really helpful for me. My coach obviously sends the training, but then for me, making sure that I have a plan of like, okay, this is the activation I'm doing, this is how I'm going to run the workout, this is the time I'm doing it. Like having a plan and committing to the workout, I think for me is super important. Another takeaway from this week is stress. I really struggled with the running when I was stressed about finals, and I think obviously that makes sense. Like there's going to be times where you have to balance the academic side a little bit more than the running side, or maybe you have to just balance other priorities in your life. That stress does impact training, and so you kind of just have to remember that and be careful and make sure that you're doing all the right things to stay healthy and not let it impact your running too much. My final takeaway is that not everything has to be perfect. So the workout doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to get done, and it's all about just stringing together these efforts. So like I was talking about with the core and the stretching, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to make sure that I'm just like putting in the work consistently. And that way, eventually we'll have these workouts where I feel really good and I look at it and I'm like, wow, I've come a really far way. The biggest takeaway is definitely nutrition and pushing carbs, especially as I'm pushing more intensity in my training and I'm pushing more volume. It's just like I need more energy to do that. So we're going to push that. And yeah, I think I'm super excited for next week. I'm hoping to learn something every single week and learn new things that I can kind of incorporate into my routine.